Hi, Michelle. It's Jenny.
And Dennis.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm Michelle.
I'm good. I'm good.
Let's see if I can get a video on here.
Where are you guys?
We're here in Cleveland.
You're in Cleveland.
Go, hi.
Hi.
Are you in Columbus?
I am in Columbus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Come on in here, honey.
Yes, dear. Here I am.
Hello.
Hi.
How have you guys been?
We're good.
We're doing fine, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're traveling a lot?
Yeah, and we just picked up COVID on our last trip. So,
Oh. Where were you?
New Jersey and New York.
Okay.
So, but I mean, it's just like a bad cold.
You both have it?
Dennis hasn't tested, he tested negative.
Okay.
So,
just a tough goat.
yeah.
Yeah. I've got quite a few travel plans scheduled for the fall, so
Ooh.
I'm hoping to not get it.
Yeah, where are you going to go?
I'm going to Charlotte, going to New Orleans, going to New York, going to Arizona.
Wow.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. It is a happy space here this evening, and a happy lobby, actually, because we can still hear them. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is great to be here. Great for all of us to gather in connection, in Shabbat worship, in celebration of community, and in celebration of the beginning of Henry's bar mitzvah. Mazel tov in advance, Henry. It is become one of our customs to set an intention for the week, to recognize that making a separation from the week, from the mundane tasks of the week to the holiness of Shabbat is not always the easiest thing to do. And so I invite you in this time to take a really deep breath in and release. And then to take another deep breath in. And as you take a breath in, to think about all of those things that were hard for you this week, all of the challenges, all of the frustrations, all of the anxieties. Think about them for just a moment as you take a deep breath in. And then as you release, push out and release all of your frustrations, all of your anxieties, all of the challenges of the week. And then with this last breath, breathe in the sweetness, the specialness of Shabbat, the specialness of time together. Take a deep breath in. Hold on to that sweet spice that we can only find on Shabbat. And release. We've set our intention. We've separated our sacred time. And now we lean into our community and the beauty of our community by singing together. Our opening song is Hine Ma Tov. You can find it on page 10. There are hundreds of versions of Hine Ma Tov.
Definitely.
And this version of Hine Ma Tov is by the composer Elena Arian. And Hine Ma Tov means how good it is for us to be together. Indeed, it's really great to be together.
טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. Try that with me. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. שלום עליכם, סלאם עליכום. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Now you, Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Good job.
It is great to be together and great to hear all of your voices. It's really very special. This evening, we are going to light our Shabbat candles and offer Kiddush with our Bar Mitzvah family. It's my pleasure to ask our Bar Mitzvah celebrant, Henry, to come forward together with his parents, Story and Irvin, his brother, Frankie, to come up on the bima as we turn to page 3. And you see over here, we have two, come on up. For the four of you. And then we see over here on the sides of our sanctuary, so many of us during COVID found really special meaning in lighting Shabbat candles every week. And so if you got into the habit of lighting Shabbat candles every week, please come forward and light Shabbat candles with the Katz family.
So when you hold this, just kind of hold it a little close to your mouth so they can hear it, okay?
Oh, I am right now? Yes. Do you have to say the Hebrew first?
No. See, look, it's 1, 2, and then 3.
Oh, okay. All right. So, as these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
That works too.
Is that better?
There you
Can
go.
you guys hear me? Okay. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron lemase v'reshit, ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziad mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no semantics, no English or Hebrew, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. We turn now to the Baruch Hu, our call to worship. You can find it on page 28. Please rise in body or in spirit.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai hamavorach leolam vaed.
One, we read together, Mari Varavim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. The Shema, the watchword of our faith, page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Be'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavcha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 40. Page 40, we'll sing in just a moment, Michamocha. We call it our song of freedom. It tells really the story of our redemption. The Israelites have just crossed the Red Sea, and they're beginning to realize that they are free, that they are no longer under Pharaoh's power. And so they take a moment to celebrate. And that moment of celebration is a song, it's a celebration, it's a party. And how many times do we miss those moments in our lives, those times when we should have said thank you, when we should have celebrated, and we just keep plowing forward. And so let us remember every time we should have celebrated, every time we should have taken just a moment to say thank you when we sing this song of freedom.
Kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Nora tehilot, osef eleh, Nora Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Malchutecha ra'u banecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze Elianu ve'amru, ze Elianu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
Page 42, Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu is our evening lullaby. Many of you have heard me say this many times, but we have some guests here this evening, that this is probably one of the oldest prayers in our prayer book. It was probably written around the time of 800 in the Common Era by Rav Seder Amram, which I had to practice saying. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. And it was written because back then there were no lights, there were no cell phones, and so evening was truly a scary time. And so this prayer was written for protection when nighttime was truly a scary time, when we really felt the need to call upon God for physical protection. And so the origin of this prayer and the first lines of the original prayer were literally to ask God for a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter, a literal shelter of peace. Over time, it's become more of a spiritual quest, a spiritual request for God to provide shelter for us in other ways, for God to be present for us when we need it the the most, to guide us when we need it the most. And so as we sing Hashkivenu this evening and we think of a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace, I'm thinking of those in the Ukraine who are still struggling and do not have a shelter of peace. And we may be thinking of ourselves who are struggling in different ways with inner peace and other things. And so let us sing together, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, lehamidenu shomreinu lechayim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
Page 44, we celebrate Shabbat by singing Vishamru.
Shabbat, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם, ברית עולם, ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
We turn now to page 46 for the tefillah. The tefillah is the center of our liturgy. We refocus ourselves and we first we refocus ourselves, and then we remember the forefathers and foremothers upon whose shoulders we stand, then God's greatness, and then the sanctity of the day. These series of prayers will be chanted straight through, and they will be chanted by our bar mitzvah celebrant. So it is my pleasure to invite Henry Katz to come forward as we turn to page 46 and rise in body or in spirit.
Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufi Agi Tehilateha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Velohei Avotenu Ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rahel Velohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagivor V'Hanoram El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Haste Avot V'Imaot Umevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer Umashiach Umagen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia Mechalkel Hayim Behesed Mechaye HaKol Berahamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofei Holim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Baal Gevurot Umido Melah Melech Memit Umekayem Umatzmiya Yeshua V'ne'eman atah l'chachayot HaKol Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye HaKol
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
That was great. Please be seated. Page 58. We read together. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Ulecha Na'eh Lehodot. Page 60. Shalom Rav, our prayer, our song for peace. We sing together.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech hadot lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech hadot lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
There are many in our temple family, near and far, who are in need of healing, whether it be a healing of body, a healing of spirit, healing from mental illness, healing from life's struggles. And so we turn now to the middle of page 253. And we think of all of those whom we love who are struggling on this Shabbat. And as my hand passes over the congregation, I encourage you to share aloud the names of loved ones who are struggling. And if you are home, I invite you to use the chat so that together we may know the strength of community lifting up those who are in need.
Jane and Jacob.
We join together in healing song.
Blessing, and let us say Amen. Ishe berachim makor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We take a few moments now for silent prayer and reflection.
ratzon imre fi vegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri vegali Adonai tzuri vegali May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Yiyu leratzon imre fi vegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri vegali Adonai tzuri vegali
The ritual that we started with at the very beginning of the service, the taking the 3 breaths, started by accident. It started during quarantine, those many, many months ago, when Deb and I were leading services from our homes. I was leading from my office at home and Deb from her office at home. And the idea of leading a service from my home office, standing in a stand like this, facing a computer, was increasingly difficult. And I didn't feel it. And yet here we were trying to figure out how to lead services. And so before we would go on Zoom, I would take breaths, I would meditate. And one Shabbat, I did the meditation on Zoom. And everyone loved it. And I realized that what I needed, we all needed. We all needed those mindful moments, those moments of creating space for ourselves, those moments of awareness and attention for ourselves. And so I started having those moments while we were at home. And then when we returned to the sanctuary, Deb, I hope it's okay if I tell this, Deb said, Rabbi, will you do those moments here too? It's become this mindfulness moment for us, the separation from the mundane to the sacred. Mindfulness is everywhere. We hear this word all the time. What exactly does it mean? When we are mindful, we are intentionally focusing our attention, not so easy to say, on our emotions, our thoughts, our sensations, and being in the present moment, and trying to be deeper in our acceptance and perhaps compassion. Research has proven that mindfulness helps us to release unhealthy or negative thoughts and emotions, to manage life's challenges in a more effective way. The practice of mindfulness can have a powerful effect on our well-being and life satisfaction. Mindfulness, the history of mindfulness, it originated in Eastern European religious traditions such as Buddhism. Achieving mindfulness through practicing meditation and yoga was crucial on the path to enlightenment. How did mindfulness come to be with us? By a man named John Kabat-Zinn, who founded the Center, I didn't know it was double space, founded the Center of Mindfulness at the University of Massachusetts Medical School. And then he also founded the Oasis Institute for Mindfulness-Based Professional Education. He was the first one to bring together science and mindfulness practices, and he developed the first mindfulness-based stress reduction program, which we know works. Today, the general goals of mindfulness have been adopted widely. Mindfulness can be practiced, as we know, in many ways, through some deep breaths, through yoga practice, through a simple meditation, through everyday activities. We can even find a moment of meditation while washing the dishes. The practice of mindfulness is a support for those of us living with distress in our physical conditions, in mental health conditions, with pressures in work, managing challenges at school, and more. I also believe that mindfulness is deeply Jewish. You were waiting for that. You knew I was getting there. Beginning this week, we're in an intense month of Jewish mindfulness, the period leading up to the High Holy Days. It's known as Elul, which is simply the name of the month prior to Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, and Simchat Torah. During the month of Elul, traditional synagogues sound the shofar as a spiritual alarm clock every morning. And during the High Holy Days, we do teshuvah. We ask for forgiveness for all the ways we've missed the mark, for the mistakes and hurts we've caused our family and friends, for the ways we could have done more to heal our society, for the ways we may have hurt ourselves, for the ways we didn't live up to God's expectations. And that is a lot. Teshuvah, most often translated as repentance, is from the word that means return. Teshuvah is the process of returning to our most authentic self. Elul provides a period of introspection and preparation to do the work of teshuvah. Elul asks us to be still long enough to really listen and hear our inner voice. Elul is a whole month of mindfulness. So this evening, I'm going to conclude, it's going to take a little while for the conclude with a mindfulness exercise. I want to ask you to share with me as I take you on a brief guided meditation to begin your mindful Elul. So first, sit up, stretch a little, find as comfortable as you can in these chairs, a little bit of a comfortable position. Allow your body to relax a little bit. You can close your books if you want. Take a very deep, what I call a belly breath in. If you feel safe, close your eyes. Imagine yourself walking along a path through a beautiful forest. All around you is lush and green, beautiful sunsets, beautiful sun is dappling through. As you breathe deeply, you inhale the scent of trees and plants growing, the scent of the earth. A soft wind is blowing. You continue walking peacefully, contentedly. You emerge from the forest, and the path opens onto a beach. You walk towards the water. You stop at the water's edge and look out to the horizon. You hear the leaves rustling behind you and hear the soft waves breaking in front of you. As you gaze to the water, the waves softly crashing, these questions come to your mind, and whichever question speaks to you the most deeply, ponder it, hold on to it, think about it. What hurts do I need to forgive myself? What do I regret? What do I need to release in order to feel more whole? How can I better serve the world? What can I do to experience more joy in the coming year? Take a moment. Think about the water and the questions. Hold on to them. And feel the wind come across the sea. Hear the waves. And allow the wind to gently carry you back through the forest, through the path, and back into the sanctuary. Take a deep breath. And when you are ready, open your eyes. The month of Elul, we sound the shofar as a spiritual alarm clock. As you think of these questions one last time, we'll allow the alarm clock to wake us up.
Tikia. The time is now. We've gathered round. So bring all your gifts and bring all your burdens with you. No need to hide. Arms open wide, we gather as one to make a makom kadosh. We come to tell, we come to hear, we come to teach, to learn. We come to grow, and so we say, the time is now. We'll make this space a holy place, so separate, so whole. Rejoice every soul who enters here.
We continue with Aleinu on page 283. Please rise in body or in spirit. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else.
ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Let's be seated. We turn now to our time of remembering, our memorial meditation. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. On this Shabbat, we remember those taken most recently from our temple family, Renate Miller, Eugenia Weinberg. And we remember those whose yahrzeits fall on this Shabbat: Harry F. Affelder, Herman Bank, Betty Einstein, Henrietta Glickman, June Greenwald, Lee Richard Handel, Robert G. Handel, Iris Glickman Haar, Marie Hayes Heiner, Ralph Hollander, Hyman J. K., Lillian P. Koblitz, Jerome D. Lane, H. Jack Lang, Bernard M. Louis, Harriet Freeman Lowy, Albert Markowitz, Sally S. Mayers, Irving Mitchell, Esther Zwick Morris, Howard N. Orbit, Esther Ryder, George Hayes Richmond, Gerald Rosenblum, Robert E. Schoenberger, Heloise Michaels Schwartz, Helen Felsenthal Singer, Eugene C. Stern, Harry R. Traub. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we turn to page 294 and rise in body or in spirit for the mourner's Kaddish. Yid Gadal v'yid Kadash Shemei Rabbah B'alma Divra Kirute V'amlich Malchute B'chayechon Uv'yomechon Uv'chaye D'chol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala Avizman Kari V'imru Amen. Yehi Shlam Rabbah Mevorach Leolam Almei Almaya Yid Barak V'yishtabach V'yid Pa'ar V'yid Romam V'yid Naseh V'yid Hadar V'yid Taleh V'yid Talal Shemei D'Kudusha Barechu Le'elam Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbachata V'nechamata Da'amiran B'alma V'imru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Ose shalom bimromav, huya ase shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and give comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, Amen. Please be seated. It is my pleasure to ask Len Podis to come forward, a member of our Board of Trustees, for a few words of greeting and announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Rabbi Van and Deb, for a beautiful and inspirational service. I think my mind is still out on that beach in Long Island somewhere. Thanks also to our dedicated STKA staff, volunteers, and leadership. Welcome and Mazel Tov, Henry Katz, and your family and your friends. Tomorrow, 10:30 a.m., Henry celebrates his bar mitzvah, and everyone is welcome to join the service and be part of this important step in Henry's journey. Our tent, classes this trimester will range from mindfulness to cooking to Doctor Who to Jewish history. Classes begin Sunday, September 11th, and registration is open. Personally, I'm already registered for Doctor Who, and I'm really looking forward to it. You can go to our website for a detailed description of all classes and then sign up. Thank you to Amy Handel for contributing to our beam of flowers for this evening's services, given in loving memory of Lee Richard Handel. As Rabbi Van was reminding us, the high holy days have somehow managed to sneak up on us once again. And very soon you will receive information about your Book of Remembrance listing, the temple schedule for the period, tickets, policies, and procedures, and much more. So watch your email inbox and your real-life hard copy mailbox for this important information. Thank you all for joining us. We will continue to comply with CDC guidelines regarding masking, and I believe it's now optional. The current state status of masking will be indicated by a sign on the front door. So please check that and check the website or temple times for current COVID policies. That's it. So Shabbat Shalom.
That's it for announcements, but we still need to sing.
Of course.
So we're going to sing in the spirit of High Holy Days, Hashivenu, which can be found on page 358. Let us return to you, God. Hashivenu.
Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Yameinu kekedem
Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva
Chadesh Yameinu kekedem. Help us and guide us, inspire and provide. provide us with the wisdom your Torah can show. Cause us to learn, renew and return, just as in days long ago. Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Kadesh Yameinu Kekedem.
Please rise in body or in spirit for our benediction and then motzi.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha bichuneka.
May the light of God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yis Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God lift up each one of us and may God bring us shalom, peace, and wholeness.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together, as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Von, Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.